Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident Podcast, a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. Welcome. We are excited to have Sambaza back, who is host and creator of the Sambaza podcast. He is a remarkable figure in the podcasting world. Hailing from the Republic of Kenya, he has garnered 3 nominations for Best African Diasporan Podcast by the APVA. In addition, he has also been nominated by the Texas Creator Awards for Best Blog. Also, he has been a presenter at Afros on Audio Podcast Festival for the years 2022, 23, 24, and planning for 25. He also participated at Podfest 2025. Welcome back, Simbaza.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen. I am back.
Hey,
It's been a long 3 weeks, but great time to kind of chill out with the family, and
good.
it's 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 been great. Videos are downloading. I think I have the first video coming up. If you're on TikTok it should be on the YouTube, my YouTube channel.
Is it? Okay.
No, in a few it'll come up. Yeah, but it was a nice trip. Very refreshing.
Excellent. And for those who may not be aware, Sambaza had to take a trip home to the motherland,
To Kenya, yes,
to
to Kenya.
Kenya. So, really exciting stuff, and he will be sharing. We'll have to get some of those pictures so we can put those up in videos. I know you posted some on your socials that really exciting things. You got a chance to take in a safari and check out Nairobi and a lot of exciting things with the family. So glad you guys made it back safely and had a great time. We wanted to, so at this time, we'll go ahead and introduce our topic. So we want to acknowledge Juneteenth for 2025. Definitely want to take an opportunity to acknowledge Juneteenth, our Freedom Day, in this brief but powerful episode. So today we'll reflect on what it means, especially the context of Black liberation and ongoing justice movements. We're also honored to share a great clip from our powerful conversation with Dr. Opal Lee, who is a retired educator, activist, and the woman who is known as the grandmother of Juneteenth. We were blessed enough to have an opportunity to speak with her and her daughter, Dion Sims. So be sure to catch that episode, which is in season 6, episode 166. But we're going to share a few moments of that after we talk about Juneteenth for a little bit.
Oh yeah. Juneteenth actually was it's also known as a Freedom Day and Emancipation Day, marked on June 19th. It was in 1865 when the Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, where they had the proclamation for independence with news that the Civil War had just ended and the enslaved people were now free. I think in Virginia they were already free. They had
Mhm.
been freed a month before that, and judging by that time, there was no Instagram, TikTok, and what have you. So news travel kind of slow to get to different parts of the country. So considering how it was, this is how Juneteenth became, because it took a while before they got there.
Right. And so, as history shows, this is 2 years after President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. For many, Juneteenth represents the delayed justice, but also a resilience, liberation, and the enduring fight for freedom.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, so it's 2 years, not a month. I thought it was a month.
No.
They kind of held it up for 2 years. I think they knew it. It's my opinion, though. I think it was already known that news had traveled, but they just kept it quiet until the soldiers came. I think
Okay.
soldiers kind of put it more to official, because I think when you look at the North and the South issues that they were having regarding labor, that was where the problem came. about. So it began as a Texas tradition,
Mhm.
but over time it spread to across the country, and thanks to the relentless efforts for activists like Dr. Opal Lee, it now became a federal holiday, and this was 2021. Um, I think this is the next year. Is it next year? Next year there's a celebration. Is it this year? We had it last year, so this year is supposed to be in Washington D.C.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna do the walk in Washington D.C. if I'm not correct. So they're not gonna be in Texas. It's gonna be in Washington D.C.
And
Um,
speaking, the walk is kind of what got a part of the movement that she created, and rallying that she did to get attention for making this a federal holiday. Dr. Opal Lee, who we mentioned is known as the grandmother of Juneteenth, walked from with many others, walked from Fort Worth all the way to Washington D.C. Like I mentioned that episode 166, we had a conversation with her daughter, Deion Sims, who definitely was a part of the campaign and effort. They collected over 1.6 million signatures to get this push for national recognition.
oh yeah. Oh, by the way, you also have to acknowledge that she came in also taking up the mantle. Somebody else had started it off. I think Laura mentioned that it was a gentleman. I can't remember the name right now, but if you check
Okay.
the episode, it'll show you who the gentleman was, and then she took over. And I guess you can say that there was a grandfather and a grandmother. So he started it off, and then she took it and moved past where she was. So it's like she took the mantle and decided, okay, this is it. I'm going to take it up from here and go as far as I can. So Juneteenth is more than a moment of history. It's a celebration of Black culture, progress, and continued resilience, as we say. We honor our ancestors, the journey, and the work that is still ahead. I think
Mhm.
we have moved over from just looking at it as just as holiday, so to speak, but look at it as a way of reflection of what is to come forward and what we have to do as African American people and how we can integrate ourselves into upper echelon. And not that we have not been there, but it's that we need to be recognized. And part of the recognition is being allowed in these spaces. Um, well, as you know, there are these political upheavals that we have, which stop us from getting to the top and sharing the same resources. But we're making strides. And one of the strides is once a federal holiday like this shows up or comes up, and we do things like I think you alluded in one of the conversations where you talked about, you know, business fairs. We do, workshops, maybe even a celebrity basketball game or a football game or something that will unite people together,
Mhm.
marks it as a difference to not just any other holiday. So that's one of the ways that I think we can say this is a great holiday to look into. And I think from there, let's see what you got for today.
Yeah. So, for sure, you mentioned ways people can acknowledge or celebrate G2. People say, okay, what do we do? I see a lot of cities, including my town, have a lot of fairs and festivals going on where they let, maybe artists perform and independent business owners set up their products for people to shop. It's a great time to shop African American owned business, small independent businesses who definitely could use the support. And that's definitely strengthening our economic power as Black people. So, yeah, definitely those are some ways to do that. Shop a Black business. It could be even my Black business. As we are business owners and podcasters and all the things. So check the show notes for those businesses, links, and affiliates, and all the things and ways that you can support another up and coming entrepreneur. So lots of different ways that we can, but also great a moment of a reflection for sure of those who made the great sacrifice for us to have these liberties. Definitely. So we definitely want to take it back and show some great moments from the episode that we had to speak with Dr. Opal Lee and her daughter, Dion Sims, who runs the nonprofit and does really great work in Texas, um, not too far away from you.
Yes,
And
about an hour away.
yeah. So, okay, let's get into a clip here. And this may be a shorter episode than normal since we just definitely want to acknowledge. I know you are literally just getting back from your travels, but you were a great sport to join us. So let's check some of this out. Okay, let's start here.
Happened that something that happened in the past. I don't need your sympathy. What I do need is I need your.
Oh, let's start it.
And so Juneteenth is empowering. A lot of people still believe that Juneteenth celebrates slavery, and it doesn't. Juneteenth celebrates freedom from slavery, but you also have to elevate Juneteenth to be more than just a historically relevant something that happened in the past. I don't need your sympathy. What I do need is I need your empathy. I need you to be where I won't be or where I'm not right now. I need you in the boardrooms. I need you on Capitol Hill in those committee meetings. I need you, on the school board. When you hear of stuff happening, my ally, and because you now have experienced Juneteenth and what it means for the African American experience, you can open your mouth and say, you know what, that's not going to be fair to everybody.
Okay, and then let's go here.
All of her peers, started to fall off.
Oh,
A couple of decades. She was just happy to be celebrating it in her own little world, right? And making sure
Oh,
people in Fort Worth celebrated Juneteenth. And so she kept the Juneteenth festivals and parades and things going from the 70s, even after all of her peers, started to fall off. She kept it going.
now, Miss
yeah.
Sims, you just mentioned that 25 years, that is a long time with trying to get the national observance recognized. What were a few of those challenges? Okay.
The first one
Mm-hmm.
talked about. I think we already talked about it and said, when you want to be on those boards,
Mm-hmm.
you want to be on the school boards, you want to be on the uh in the boardrooms, Capitol Hill. I think that's more like the rallying call that should be emphasized anytime there's Juneteenth, because if we don't do it, then who else will do it for us? That's your one day to. I know people say Juneteenth is not, or can say being black is not one day. Being black is 365, right? However,
Right.
you use these holidays as a way of showing, not showing your advancements, and then kind of like doing a reset. So at that point, when you're doing the reset, you need to say, hey, how many people have we gotten to Capitol Hill? How many people do we have in the school boards? How many people do we have who are representative of us? What areas have we garnered more in terms of child um, graduation? Do we have less children mortality rates or pregnant women mortality rates? How is that working for us? Mothers who have kids who are malnourished. All these things are simple steps that we can look into at that point as a reset. I think that's one of the powerful statements that she was providing for us.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of change needs to occur in many cities. I know even here in St. Louis, we experienced a really terrible tornado last month on May 16th. And a lot of people are, trying to put their lives back together. And, we have a lot of African Americans in legislation that are trying to get things passed. And, non melanated folks too, working together trying to get things. But this is like a time to come together, and if legislation needs to be passed or created or whatever have you, to make change, but recognizing the changes in your city, your town, that need to be, like you said, all those different problems. There's ways to address that. And definitely it makes you think about how we can be part of the solution, for sure.
And considering that, I'm sorry to hear about the weather issues, and this is where you actually see and get to notice the disparities of being melanated and non-melanated, where
Mhm.
the resources, especially resources, and where you live in which city, how these resources will be distributed. If they're distributed well, everybody's going to get an equal share, and everybody will go up and kind of get back to get back to their normal lives. I know it's not easy because there's some type of trauma that goes on.
Mhm.
The way you get helped is the faster you get help is the faster way you will get to heal better. But if you're struggling to get help, healing will take some time too. So these things are where you actually see where you need to come up on these particular occasions and say, hey, this is where we are. Let's be proud. And this is what we've done so far. How can we get better? Identify these options and then look at it, how you can move forward. And at the end of the next year, you come back and say, hey, this is what we did. Feedback.
For sure. I want to show two clips that feature Dr. Opal Lee. I know she came in toward the end of the conversation, but those are some great moments. So let's share one of those.
Their minds.
You were
Oh,
so
hang on.
And the
And so, well, we can't spend a whole nother hour having you retell what I told.
okay.
So, but do you want to admonish them in any way? Give them the close, because we were closing out and I saw you. So, you want to give them your something to call to action?
Yeah, don't ever miss an opportunity to tell young people to make themselves a committee of one to change somebody's mind. We know people who aren't on the same page we are on. Change their minds, and their minds can be changed. If people have been taught to hate, they can be taught to love, and it's up to you to change their minds.
And there you have it.
That was a great moment there.
Yeah,
Thoughts about that conversation with Dr. Opal Lee?
yeah. I think the show, you couldn't have kept the show in a better way than have her come in. I think
Mhm.
remember our strategy was she had been interviewed by so many people, so we were going for Dr. Dion Sims. That's her daughter, not her daughter, but her is it granddaughter,
Who's her
daughter,
daughter? Yeah,
granddaughter,
I thought it was her daughter.
daughter. Right.
Yes.
Okay. So um, the daughter was actually going to speak on her behalf and then give us tidbits about what was going to be like a view of the other person. And luckily she showed up and we were like, oh wow, this was a moment. Yeah, it couldn't have been better. But I like the way she said we all make ourselves committee as one. If people are taught to hate, then they can be taught
Mhm.
to love. I think that was a powerful statement right there.
It is totally,
Yeah. um,
absolutely, for
and
sure.
here we are with the Juneteenth, and we're talking about it, and we've already created a committee of one. We are on this podcast talking about it, and I think when it goes out to the people, whoever are listening or come up to listen much better, I think you want to go and listen to the whole episode. It has its moments, and you can pick off from those moments and see how best you can help out on Juneteenth. It doesn't matter whether you're melanated or not melanated. Either way, yeah, you have a part to play.
For sure. And it's not just a Texas thing. I hear a lot of people say, oh, it's only about Texas. But I mean, that's just a part of our history that we all share. You know what I mean? So it's really just kind of like a symbol of, what our ancestors went experienced, and which, is to be celebrated everywhere. So, um,
I think
yeah.
when you say it was a Texas thing, I maybe people, it doesn't come off. It depends on how you look at it.
Mhm.
Um, Texas is where the information got to be brought to. Uh, then Dr. Opal Lee and Dr. Dion Seams are the ones who now are forging ahead, and I think it starts from somewhere and spreads its tentacles. That's where it comes out. And people may have said it's a Texas thing. I think 20 years ago, I probably have said the same thing because not a lot of people are talking about it 20.
Right.
But now it's become something because of the federal holiday and the strides that have been made to make sure that it becomes part of our society.
Mhm.
So with that, yes, we can look at it and say it started from Texas, but now it's for everybody to share, and we all share it as people from the United States.
All right. For sure. All right. So, this is our acknowledgement of the Juneteenth holiday. We appreciate the ones who have joined us this evening and catch the audio episode very soon. We will have Sambaza share more about his travels and things that he got into on his trip, and some current events on our next show. Anything else you want to share?
What are you planning on doing tomorrow for Juneteenth?
You know what? I am going to do some of my show live streams for my side business. So I will be on Whatnot, which is one of my platforms that I use for my small business. And so people can support a small business and show up on Whatnot live streams.
The business name is
That's
the
not the business name, but it's just it's a part of what, yeah.
business
Huh?
called. What's the business called?
So officially, I mean, so I do it under Curvy Closet with Jen, but and then so and I just it's a reselling business, and I do live streams, and so we'll do some live streams, and people can support a black business. But no, just yeah. So definitely will try to support some independent businesses around here. There's several to choose from. I challenge people to do that in their own city in some small way, whether it's getting a muffin from the neighborhood spot, or cup of coffee, or anything you can do to support a small independent um, business, and with Juneteenth in mind. So,
Is your city doing anything around Juneteenth? Are they doing
you
it
know,
early or on
they
Saturday?
had some festivals last weekend ahead of it that I missed out on. Sometimes, it's like you're not in the mood for the big crowds, but and I think there'll be some more this weekend, and then I think there's some on the day, so it'll be something likely going on tomorrow. So I may, check out the vibes on that, but I definitely will be representing as a business owner out here in the good digital space. So,
Okay. Yeah, because tomorrow I don't know what's happening in the city. I haven't pinpointed exactly
mhm.
in Dallas, but I'm sure there's something going on in Dallas.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
totally.
over the weekend, I know last weekend I was supposed to go to a show that I really wanted to go to, but I missed out because remember I just came in and I was tired. All
Hmm.
that. However, uh, this weekend our city of Forney is going to celebrate Juneteenth. So I'll be able to go and see what's up over there. I think it'll be great. It's the first time I'm attending one, but
Hmm.
I think it's going to be an awesome event to uh, also meet the people around the city as well. So it's
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely you should do that. And you've got some more travels coming up as the year. I guess we have to get
Yeah,
through the summer. Get through the
I'll
summer.
go back to Kenya too. That's another
You
story.
ready?
Yeah, within the year, I may have to go back.
Oh, really?
That's a another story altogether.
Okay, I bet. Yikes. Well, all
It
right.
was a great trip. I have good ideas. I found some ideas I might plan on doing if I ever go if I ever go again next year.
Mhm.
Podcasting ideas.
Yeah.
I just have to put them to pen and paper and then have people buy into the idea. But I think it'll work out this time. It'll work out.
Now, this was the first time the kids went, right?
Nah, they've been there like 3 4
Oh,
times.
they did. Okay. Okay,
Yes.
so everybody's been before. You
Yeah.
just
No, we were a group of eight.
okay.
So group of eight,
Hmm.
two of them were that was their first time.
But
Uh,
last time you didn't bring everybody, but this time everybody went.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, that's great. The more
Uh,
the merrier.
it was my sister-in-law and two others,
Hmm.
my wife's friend's sister and daughter. So it was a great experience for them
Good.
having to see Kenya, and they had their own adventures. I would like to hear their stories. The good thing is they took videos, and their
Okay.
videos I'm going to incorporate them together with mine, and then you kind of see their view of what Kenya might be or whatever they took on their end. So it's going to look interesting for this particular series of videos that I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, we're looking forward to that. And all right, sounds great. So we will make it short and sweet for you guys, but please join us for next time. Hang on, where's my little spiel? All right. So we hope that you found our conversation and show today inspiring and enlightening. And again, we put that challenge out for you to support an independent business in your town. All right. So do that and share. And if you found the episode meaningful, please share it with friends and family. Stay tuned for more engaging content, and we look forward to continuing these great conversations in the future. So we will see you next time
All right.
and
Yeah.
take care.
All right. Y'all have a
Until
good one.
next time. All right.